Hello, you join me inside what is probably one of the last proper sports cars we'll ever see. This is the new manual Toyota GR Supra.
Dream, search, drive. Cars.co.za.
You know, sometimes this job really delivers. We've shut down a mountain pass outside Cape Town so that we could review these cars, the GR Corolla and the GR Supra. And Ashley and I are going to be driving the two together as well. But I thought I'd take this opportunity to tell you what this car's like to drive. So let's get this out of the way. This is a proper sports car experience. You've got a long bonnet up front. You're basically sitting on the rear axle. It's cramped in here. It's difficult to get in and out of. It basically doesn't have any boot space, although actually it's not too bad. But it ticks all of the boxes in terms of its dimensions, its size. And you know what? I've come to actually love the design of this car. When it arrived at the office, I just wanted to stand outside and stare at it, and that hasn't happened to me in a long time. It's a car that I found it was easy to get excited about. And like I said in my GR Corolla review, it's just amazing to me that the brand making the coolest sports cars on the planet right now is Toyota. GR Yaris, GR Corolla, GR 86, GR Supra. That is quite a foursome of awesome. I just made that up now. Foursome of awesome. By the way, that dudunk you're hearing are the cat's eyes. There are some particularly large cat's eyes on this road. Okay. So what are we dealing with here? Well, under the bonnet, BMW's B58 engine. And you know, when this car came out, everyone sort of poo-pooed it because it was basically a BMW underneath. But I think everyone's come to realize that they got the recipe right here. They got the formula right. Toyota needed a good straight six engine. Who makes good straight six engines? BMW, obviously. I mean, yes, we would have all loved it if Toyota had built a successor to the 2JZ, but I don't know. They were probably like, well, we've got to build some EVs, and building a new 2JZ sounds expensive. So let's phone Bavaria and see if they can help us out. And that's what happened. So this is not the engine from the M3, M4. This is the engine from the M240i, 3-liter straight six, single turbo. And it is, to be honest, a bit of a masterpiece. And for this iteration of the GR Supra, they've bumped up the power from 250 kilowatts to 285, and you now get 500 Newton meters of torque as well. There is plenty power and torque here. I don't think for 90% of drivers that you are going to get bored with the drivetrain in this car. Gosh, it's difficult to look at you and look at the road. This is such a tight and twisty road, and if you make a mistake, my word, are you having a serious accident. You'll just crash into one of these massive boulders on the right and then get some good airtime on your way down to the bottom of the ravine. There's literally a sheer cliff on my right hand side right now, but you know, it makes it exciting, you know. So I spent a weekend with this car, and I had to do some long distance driving, and I also took it up some of Cape Town's more interesting roads. And what I was impressed with is that it has quite an impressive breadth of abilities. It's actually a very good GT car. It's very comfortable, it's very quiet, It's very stable at high speeds. And then when you do get the opportunity to push a little bit, then it sort of becomes quite a tail-happy sports car. And the characteristics of the drivetrain and the setup is such that you actually need to be quite awake if you're going to be pushing this car. But Toyota didn't want it to be leery, and they didn't want it to get the reputation of, say, a Mustang for leaving car meets and plowing into people. And so they've dialed up the traction control here. They've put in an anti-roll system to account for snap oversteer. And so you can sort of lean on the back end with a bit more confidence. But still, you do know that you are driving a powerful rear-wheel drive car, that's for sure. I'm not sure this is the best road for this car, if I'm honest. It's a bit too tight and twisty. I think I was way faster in the GR Corolla up here than I will be in the Supra. Weirdly though, I find this car quite intimidating to push. The proportions of it are real classic sports car stuff, but now you have more power than any Ferrari did, say, in the 80s and 90s. This is a properly powerful car. The seating position is very, very race car-like. You're pretty much lying down in here, like lying down in a bathtub. But I do have this whole road to myself. So let's see if my initial judgment of this car is correct. You've got two modes in here, not sport and sport. Let's engage sport and see what this thing's like. Wow, all right. It does leap. Just have to be a bit careful here. The road is cold. My tires are a little bit warmer. Third. You know, when you close a road, you just sort of have to trust that there's nothing coming the other way and that the police have done their job. You go down a blind corner on the wrong side of the road and you just sort of a little bit. I think maybe someone like Ashley in something like this would be really, really quick. For the average driver, you do have to be careful here. It does feel like if you make a mistake, you're oversteering off a mountain pass. And I think a car like the GR Corolla just gives the average driver way, way more confidence to push. I think everyone has this idea that you're going to buy a rear-wheel drive sports car and you're going to be an absolute opposite lock hero. But the reality is that if you're getting into a position on a road like this where you need to put in opposite lock, it's probably too late and you should probably get somebody to phone your medical aid very urgently. The rev matching works really, really nicely. And I suppose the question is, for 1.4 million, is this a special enough experience to justify that price tag? I think it is. I think it looks good, it sounds good, it's plenty fast enough. You now have this option of a manual gearbox. This is probably one of the last manual sports cars we'll see on our roads. And that's pretty cool. That's worth shouting about. I'm making myself sick. A little bit of a straight here. Can open out third a little bit. But I didn't even get to 4,000 RPM. But you have to concentrate. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm doing a terrible job at presenting because honestly, this is an act of self-preservation almost, rather than an act of enjoying a sports car up a mountain pass. There's so much power on tap here for a road like this. Okay, so, right, let me try to do my job. Should you buy a GR Supra manual if you want sports car thrills, rear wheel drive handling characteristics with a manual gearbox? Yes. Oh, I don't feel well. If you don't have Porsche money, yes, this is a good option. I'd have one over a Z4. I'd have one over an M240i. Would I have one over an M2? Although that's 400 grand more these days. Maybe. But I also do find these sports cars quite hard to live with. If it's your weekend car, I think it makes sense. Or if you just want a really interesting daily. But just be aware that you are going to look like a bit of a chop getting in and out of it. It's not easy.
Cars.co.za.
If you're new to the Cars.co.za channel, welcome. Thanks for being here. Now, we have over 660 videos on our channel. We've been doing this for nearly 9 years now. So if you're looking for a car review for a car you might be interested in, you'll probably find it in our back catalog. And thanks very much for supporting our channel. We are now the largest motoring channel in South Africa, and the aim is to just keep doing what we do and help South Africa make better purchasing decisions. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers.
God. All our Silos and Archies deserve insurance that pays out.